All right, so all animals could be hung like this. I believe that the longer it ages, within reason, the better. Okay, so getting a bit more age on this, you know, a week hanging in a cool room, somewhere like that, getting cold air blowing onto the carcass all the time, uncovered, okay, that's a bloody good thing. Like, leave it out, uncovered in a cool room, whole, and then process it. The longer the meat has to set onto those bones, the better, okay? There's a chemical process that's happening. That's a good thing, all right? It's like dry aging meat. It's that same sort of thing, okay? So, you know, wet meat out of a bag, it's not great. It's not great to eat, and I think the flavour profile isn't there as well. So aging meat also develops the flavour profile as well, which is a very important part of it. You know, meat's not so, I guess venison's not so gamey, or deer's not so gamey when it has a bit of age on it, because enzymes have taken over some of that flavour and given it a new flavour profile that's a bit more dynamic than what it was when it was fresh. So Mickey and Steve took this from the wild yesterday, okay? You can see here where the round has gone in, okay? So it's gone in here, and it's moved around a little bit on the inside, so it's damaged a few of the organs. Some of the organs we still have, and we will use those. There's livers that are still good, okay? There's a heart that's in perfect condition, which is great. They're good for other things, which I'll talk about later. But it's moved around in there, the ammunition, and it's come out just here on this side, and it's damaged this shoulder. Now, when taking meat from the wild, sometimes the terrain you're in, the ammunition you use, the rifle you're using, the person on the day, there's a lot of variables, okay? And so even though this was a kill shot, it did a little bit of damage to one shoulder on the way out. But that's not to say that the entire shoulder can't be used. So we just need to learn how to trim around some of this and work our way through that shoulder so that we don't waste any of that meat. Only the parts that can't be used, the rest is fine. But I like to start on the inside, okay, which we'll start with now. There's another few little quick issues with this that we need to bring up, and it's got to do with hygiene. So when you do take an animal from the wild, okay, of course it's going to have its coat, all right, and its entrails and all of that sort of stuff, okay? So the entrails that are on the inside that you take out, you know, depending on where they're shot, sometimes there might be a bit of damage, okay? I like to hang it like this, and I like to hose the inside, the cavity out with chilled cold water, okay? Then it's really good to wipe it out with white vinegar on a rag. So a wet, damp rag of white vinegar, and just wipe it all out, okay? Same with any hair that's on it or any fur. When you do take the fur off, or the pelt, it's nice to get under it and get your 2 fingers, okay, and then lift it up. Never cut into the pelt, always cut out, okay, because then it takes any of that hair out instead of going in, okay? It's a really important part, okay? But there will be some pelt or fur, okay, and there will be some entrails. So the best thing to do is hose it out before you let it dry, okay, and with a wet towel of vinegar, wipe out all the hair and anything else that you see out of there, okay, and then let it dry. When it comes to knives for this, I have 2 mines actually, and one is my field knife that I use, and I usually just use this as a Tasmanian blade, okay, that I particularly enjoy. We can break this down with this one blade, and this is a nice Canadian blade actually as well, that's just really nicely balanced. Whatever it is, it needs to be super sharp. A lot of people will use a boning knife, okay, or a butcher's knife. So depending on the knife that you use, depends on how you hold it. But I prefer to have one knife that I can do everything with. Okay, I'm a bit minimal like that. I think it's a good way to be, and it teaches you to be careful, and it teaches you a bit of restraint and not to rush. If you have a knife, you need a sharpener. Actually, you should buy a sharpener before you buy your knife. So always have a sharp knife. Always carry a sharpener with you in the field or wherever you're doing this. Always go everywhere with a sharp blade. So it should be part of your mise en place, we like to call it, your prep list. You know, get your knife sharp before you go out. I do have a saw as well. There is cuts and things you do with this animal, which we can talk about as we do it, where you break down each one and you'll get like a nice chop Frenched, or a nice cutlet, you know, which we'll do today. But I can do it without a saw too. And like a lot of these bones, you just got to know where the joints are, and you can pop the joints with just this knife, and you don't need a saw. Saws sometimes create bone fragment. Bone fragment can get into the meat and it just gets messy. If you can learn to do everything with a knife and use it to pop through certain little joints and this kind of thing, it's just clean. It's super clean. Other equipment you might need, or you will need, gamble, or something to spread those legs at the top there, a rope, maybe a tree or a pergola or something up high, okay, that's strong. And I guess the other thing is maybe a table or a workbench to put it onto, okay, that's sanitized and clean. I don't wrap the meat after I've done this. I lay it onto a table, okay, or I put it on trays, and then I just put it in the fridge or in the cool room, and I let it keep setting and aging for a bit. Then I'll wrap the meat in like brown butcher's paper or something and write on it what cut it is and the date, and that's it. And you know, at home you can get your own little cool room now. You can actually buy kits on eBay, little cool room kits on eBay, which is pretty cool. And these chillers, some come on trailers, so you can get some on trailers, just plug them into a PowerPoint, and say it's the season where you want to get all your meat. You know, if you plan ahead, you and a couple of mates could hire one of these cool rooms on a trailer, plug it in, you know, wherever you live, and go out and get your meat for 6 months to a year's worth of meat that you split and harvest and butcher together, and then break it all down, leave it in the cool room to do its thing, break it all down, feed it out to all the families or everyone, and you've got 6 months to 8 months of the best meat that money can't buy. So that's the best way to do it. It's just forward planning and knowledge.